Well, another day of not doing painting. I have an experimental piece. I was using some semi-gloss for black, and honestly, I think it's too glossy. So I got the low gloss. Actually, the low gloss is a little bit better. I don't know if you can tell. But I do like the low gloss. Yeah, I like the low gloss a little bit better than the semi. It's less shiny. You guys see the cupola? I got one coat left, and then paint the base, and I don't know where the chimney is. Kind of. I really didn't want it flat. But, honestly, fuck it. This is what I'm doing. I'm going to go with the low. There's not enough difference to really tell. I mean, I can tell because I'm looking for it. But I'm going to finish that with the semi-gloss. Touch that up. See where I don't know if you see that, but some of my white got a little awry. So take care of that. That will be tomorrow or Wednesday. Honestly, I didn't want to be up there I got some more work done. And I don't know if you see it, but it hurts. I didn't want to be out in the sun, out there all sweating and shit. So that's my excuse for not working on that. Shut up. And I guess the last couple things I filmed were not what I wanted to do with filming. That's ranting about politics and humanity. So right now I'm going to make my lunch. Oh, what I want. Did I eat today? I don't think I ate. Oh, I did eat. I had 3/4 of a freaking cantaloupe. Speaking of which, let's check this out. So, this is neat. Kind of, I think. I think it's neat. So, when I was out here, what the fuck? What the fuck is that? It's like paint chips. No, it's a robin's egg. You can see it. Where's my hand? Yeah. Yeah, it's an egg. Weird. Where it came from. So, I think this is cantaloupe. It's too big for cucumber. Maybe. I don't know. So this started growing just here. Just started growing. It was a little twiglet for a minute, and then it just took off. Said, fuck it, let's do it. So over here, I still have, you can see where things have started to settle and dry, and it's splitting. I knew that was coming. because I used the treated. So that's part of the reason why after everything gets painted and done, I come back around here and finish this side again. The mistake of using treated, I thought I could get it dried fast enough. I was hoping I'd get it dried fast enough. I didn't. These worked out, but I almost expected them to shrink as well. So I have a little bit of shrinkage up here. I don't know if you can see that, but that was calculated. And you can see where it's separated. The caulk seam is separated a little bit, which is fine. So I have a little bit of work after all toward the end of the summer, after all the heat and everything kind of does its thing, which is what I wanted, what I expected. So this is coming away a little bit. That needs to be shot back. But that caulk joint, you know what? It's fine. Everything's fine. So all that. So I mean, the finish tightening that up, and I have the acrylic that I want. This is latex from the existing paint, and I've switched to acrylic, and I mean I can tell a little bit in the sheen, only because I'm looking for it, but I know the acrylic is going to hold up better than the latex. And what I need to do is, when I get the rest of the face painted, which is, I mean, I'll take you around there now. So we need to get a plumber in here and root out the drain tile going to the street, because I got it free and I can drain, but it won't keep up with these 6-inch gutters for the entire roof. This takes care of the entire roof. So all that motherfucker drains into that motherfucker, and it's not enough. So we got to get that motherfucker rooted out. No big. So I'm hoping that a few repairs is all I need to do for the soffit here. Now you can see where it's sagging and it's come away, and the trim, I'm going to replace the trim for sure. This quarter round, only because I'm going to use it to hold to better hold the soffit. So my next step is going to be come up here and do a little scraping. This will tidy this up. It's not as bad. It's really bad in some spots, but it's not as bad as it could be. I mean, there's some serious gaps that I will expose. I will open up a little bit more and fill with some caulk, some really good expandable caulk. And then the stuff on here on the ledge, this gets wet when it gets blown in, but it doesn't stay wet. This is a combination of water, but it's not all because of water. It's mostly sun. The sun is terrible. So that's next, after I get done with the cupola. Hopefully the cupola will be done this week. I've been saying that for weeks, but honestly, I'm not busting my ass to do it, because I know it will get done, and it's been a thorn in my ass because I haven't wanted to fucking do it. I got crabgrass and spurge. I think this shit is spurge, and this is crabgrass. I sprayed some Fertilome yesterday, and it may take a couple days to start really doing its magic. I didn't want to overspray and overkill because I didn't want to traumatize the entire yard. Because it's white clover, and white clover is actually fairly good for your lawn. It's good for other plants and other lawn or other grasses because the way it transfers nutrients, it builds, it makes a nitrogen isotope or some shit, I don't fucking know. But anyway, it helps feed. Plus, what it does is it grows and it shades and it keeps other weeds from growing in. So we have I think this is tall fescue, which I consider a weed. I don't want it in my yard. The regular fescue is in, I think it's Bermuda and fescue. So I think there's some patches of blue. I see some patches of bluegrass in here, which is probably because of overseeding. And I wouldn't mind having blue in here, but I would rather establish what we do have and make it healthy and then overseed beyond that before I start changing grasses. I want a green yard. So years and years ago, I had my first house. Moved in and had a bunch of clover and dandelions. Basically, the old lady died in the house and it was up for auction and then sold, whatever. So, shit, I gotta leave soon. So we bought the house and inherited all the weeds, and I spent 3 years it was a small yard, so I was out in the front yard with an old knife just digging up dandelions. And then once I had the dandelions under control, I had the clover to get, and a guy I worked with, he had just bought a house and he was fighting with clover. So he talked to his neighbors. Neighbors said, use Fertilome. I'm like, oh, I'll try it. So I got it at the local feed store. Used it, and holy shit, that stuff was like magic. So anywhere I go. So anyway, I had the greenest lawn on the block. It was tight. I loved it. So I kept up with it and then ended up moving out of there and then was renting a house from a friend and basically did the same thing. Just revamped the entire yard. It took me 4 years to do that. So this is my first year actively working on this yard. I put down some weed and feed early in the summer or early in the spring. I think I put it down too soon, but it did help a little bit. It was a combination. I don't know what the chemicals are, but it was a pre-emergent and a post-emergent. It was mostly for dandelions because dandelion crop was booming, and it pretty much did what it needed to do, but it got really warm for like a week or two in April, and that triggered all the yard work-ins and everything has to happen right now, and it really didn't. So now I'm actually a little late in the game. So that was 3 months ago, 2 months ago. That's why I don't want to overspray or over-treat with the Fertilome. So I know it's going to be a 2-year process to get it green where I want it. And I want it green. I want it I want it evergreen, dark green. I don't want light green with brown patches. I want I know what I want. It'll get there. It'll happen. So that's it. That's where I am. Today is the 6th of April. I think the twins are born. They were born on the 30th. They're happy and healthy, and everybody's doing their thing. My daughter's healthy and miserable. My Mrs. Heathen is hanging out with them, helping them, kind of just helping them. So my son is at work. My stepson, Anthony, is on a picking trip. And his girlfriend, our extra, she is at work. So it's just me today. I kind of like it. Walking around naked a little bit. Fuck yeah. So, well, that's another reason why I didn't want to do much outside. So I put the motorcycle in my wife's garage because I don't want to cover it up in the rain. And I'm tired of it being in the sun. I need my garage back. So yesterday, she left yesterday, went to go stay with my daughter and the twins for a few days, month, week, whatever. And then, let's see, what did I do yesterday? Oh, I sprayed and did a couple things. It was hotter than balls. So today, just chilling, getting ready for work, making my lunch right now, making some, get some Gold Star last night, so kind of scooping it into a container for me. One-handed. Oh my God, what a mess. I cleaned the stove yesterday. Scrubbed it down, took the covers off, and washed the burners and hit them with a SOS pad. Got them all ready to go. And, well, not ready to go, just better. That one didn't work well. It just was shitted up. So, really nothing. Like I said, I didn't want to turn this into what I used to do and use this platform as my platform or my preaching post. I don't know what you call it. I used to talk philosophy and religion and solve all the world's problems, and I knew everything, and I was young and naive and thought there were answers for everything. Not everything is that easy. So I would preach. And it was fun. It was a release. But I didn't. Who keeps locking his fucking door? That's me. There's a motorcycle in the garage. Be nice to have this garage back too. Be nice to have this house back. So soon, when my son goes to college, goes back to college, when he moves out, he's gone. He's moving into Columbus, and that's where he lives. He lives in Columbus. He's moving to Columbus in 3 or 4 weeks. Beginning of August. School starts middle end of August. So he has a couple weeks to settle in, figure his shit out, then start school. Look for a job. He's hoping to get a job working like at one of the food services for the school, partially because he's familiar with it. It's easy. The scheduling works for him, or did when he worked at the one before, and they feed you. So, he's paying what, basically like $550 a month for everything. Everything but food and clothes and whatever. So, internet. Rent, utilities, everything's costing $550 a month. He's renting a house with 2 other cats. So, hopefully we can get a time to schedule. We can go up there and get room measurements and actually see the place before he just goes live. So, but that doesn't always happen. It's a hope. Jeez. Yeah, that's something we hope for, or I hope for. I don't think he cares. If I didn't mention it, he wouldn't even. Not that he doesn't think ahead, but he doesn't think of things like that. Where it may not bother him. It may not be a concern. He may not give 2 fucks about it. I can't do it for him. So just put those suggestions out there. All right, so I got me a new cooler too. This is random. Engel, they call it a dry box, or cooler / dry box, vacuum sealed, or not vacuums. It's sealed, and it does fairly well. So I leave this in my hot car. The fuck? Oh, low battery. I need to charge my phone. I leave this in my hot car during the day, and from say 11 o'clock, I usually try to pack early, but right now it is 3 minutes till noon. I pack it. I'm actually going to take this and put an experimental piece in it. So it basically sits in the sweltering heat for hours and hours, and it does pretty all right. And but if I do like frozen water, or I will freeze water bottles, put them in the cooler, kind of keep it cold, because when they thaw, you can drink water. When I did construction, I had a lunchbox that was big enough to put a gallon jug in, and I would take 2 gallon jugs, and I would fill them about half or a quarter with water and freeze those. And then when I left in the morning, I'd fill them the rest of the way with water, put them in my cooler. So by the end of the day, they were wet. I mean, it was just one of those Igloo, something 20 quart, 30 quart. Anyway, this one's a 19 quart, and it would hold, I think I could probably get a gallon jug in there. Pretty all right. I mean, I like it. I've never heard of them. Actually, I have heard of them years ago when I was looking at kayaks. This was like the thing. People would put these on their kayaks. It was like their bait box and cooler and everything. But I was watching on the YouTubes, and a pipe fitter, steel worker, whatever, was just going on and on about it. He said it does everything it needs to do, put it in the back of his truck. Same thing, I think he put like a couple ice packs and a couple frozen bottles of water. By the end of the day, he still had ice inside the water, you know, that's in the sun. And I don't care what cooler you're running, you know, unless you're spending $300 for a cooler, and a cooler this size, a 19 quart cooler size that has like inch thick walls, I spent $60 for it. If you were to, did I start that? No. If you were to get the same physical size cooler in, you know, one of the big brands, it would probably end up being less, you know, less volume than that little motherfucker. And that little cocksucker, there's a story behind that. So I'm gonna take it. I'm gonna take this bitch. I'm gonna put it side by side with this one, but I'm actively using this one. I know how it behaves. I put an ice pack and a popsicle in there. I just want to see how it does. You know, at the end of the day or whatever, just riding in the car. They say it's supposed to be better, and you know, actually the insulation on this one does seem to be better than that one, just by looks and the vacuum seal. But I don't know how much material is inside the inside. So another cat at work has one, and he doesn't hate it. So let's see how it does. But the story behind that one is pretty dumb. So we have, what the fuck is that? Oh, this key to something. So I am going to get in my car, start driving to work, because it is now noon 01, and noon 01 means traffic is going to be terrible. Oh, my son forgot his water. So, alright, if it's supposed to rain this afternoon, but it's one of those summer type rains. It's supposed to rain tomorrow, but same thing. I'll watch the weather. I think I could probably get out in the sun a little, or well, if I get home and go straight to bed, I can get up at, you know, 6, 7 o'clock in the morning, right when it turns light. Hopefully it's not too wet, and then get up there and hit it with the paint. If it's got a couple hours to dry and cure, I can be the fuck off the roof, and then I can clean the roof. Oh, I still got to do some tar patch, and goddamn, so much to do. I don't want to do any of it. I'm tired of it. But I already said this summer that's it. I'm not going to my motorcycle rally at the end of this month. I'm not doing anything. I'm just doing this. Living my best life. Alright, fuck off. I got shit to do.